Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now this video is going to be dedicated to my budget built adventure tinny, which I like to call the White Rhino. Alright guys, let's get into it. So the tinny itself is real old school. It's just an old 1980 Stessel hull. It's 4 meters, and for what we want to use it for, the size of the boat's perfect. It's small enough you can still duck in and out of little creeks, and you can still head out into the ocean reasonably close depending on the conditions, and still have a bit of fun on the inshore reefs and whatnot. So inside the tinny, it's quite a basic setup as well. We've got the marine ply deck with some marine carpet, 2 seats, so you've got your rear driver's seat and a front seat as well. Vertical upright rod holders, I put 4 in the back here, which are quite handy. Keeps them out of the way and out of sight, so they're not in front of you when you're driving. Just a fuel tank at the back there. We also run some rod holders on the side, just for some extra storage. We normally throw the esky in the front here and stash life jackets and other safety gear up the back. So yeah, we keep it nice and simple inside the boat. We don't want it to get too messy and cluttered, and you'd be surprised how much room gets used up by the time you throw all your gear in it. So keep it nice and simple. At the back we have the fuel tank. We normally keep a spare 10-litre jerry can as well, and then we've got the battery in the back corner. I made up a little box which we mount the fish finder and just all the electrics on, just the switches, and got the E-Perb there as well. So it's a Garmin EcoMap 75 SV. The outboard is a 30 horsepower 2-stroke Suzuki, which, yeah, it's got plenty of power for this tinny. It's more than enough for what we want to use it for. And yeah, it works really well. We can get up in pretty shallow water, which is nice. I've recently put on the tiller extension, which I haven't even tried yet, to be honest, but I think that's going to be a worthwhile upgrade. So I bought the whole setup secondhand for $3,500, which I was very happy with. I think it's great value for money, considering it's pretty well ready for off-road use. Now, the previous owner actually custom built this trailer himself, and he's done a very good job at it. So I'm going to show you around the trailer and show you some key points which I think are an advantage to this trailer for off-road use. Up the front here, it's got an extendable swing out drawbar, which is very handy if you're trying to launch it down areas where the water's shallow. Maybe you're going off a bit of a river bank and you just need a bit more of an extension with your drawbar. So that it extends, it's only about 1 meter, but it does make a big difference when you're trying to launch it in tricky situations. So that's one big plus to the tinny. Over on the front here, which makes it handle really nicely off-road, is this swivel hitch. So this whole hitch actually swivels with the trailer. So when you're driving and your trailer drops into a ditch, the whole drawbar swivels with it, which it just makes it nice and sturdy. Your trailer's not going to roll off your tow ball or anything like that. So yeah, I've found that works really well for us. I recently put this jockey wheel on the front of the drawbar here, and I can confidently say it's been one of the best purchases I've made for this boat. So this is the Arc XO 750. and it's a very stable, very strong and secure jockey wheel, which I just feel 10 times safer using. The old jockey wheel that was on it, it fell over on me a few times and it just wasn't safe. It wasn't worth using, so I feel way more confident with this one. I'll show you a few of its features while I'm here. So it is rated to 750 kilos. It's a bit of overkill for this tinny, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So it has loads of extension on it, a lot more than any other standard jockey wheel. The two wheels here make it very stable, so it doesn't roll on you or twist or anything like that. Yeah, overall I'm very happy with it, and I think it's yeah, definitely a worthwhile investment getting a good quality jockey wheel, especially in off-road situations. If you have to unhitch the trailer to turn around, or you get bogged or anything like that, you need to take the trailer off. You want a good quality jockey wheel. So I'm very happy with this one. So we've got an electric winch at the front here, as well as just your standard hand winch. So it's got 33-inch BF Goodrich all-terrain tyres on the trailer. The spare's just on top of the drawbar over there. This size seems to work quite well for me because you can still bag them out enough and it just rolls over soft sand and mud. And it's still, even though they're a larger tyre, it's still low enough for me to quite easily launch the boat. So I'm quite happy with this size tyre. The hubs on this axle are a 5-stud Land Cruiser pattern, so for me, owning a Land Rover, it has a different stud pattern, so it's probably not ideal. Normally you would try run the same stud pattern as your car so you can interchange tyres for spares in an emergency, but in this case it's set up for a Land Cruiser, which the previous owner did actually have, so that'll be something I'll be changing in the future. Now underneath here you can see that each end of the spring is bolted directly to the trailer. Now in an off-road situation, this is pretty crucial to have. Otherwise, if you have your traditional leafs that aren't actually bolted at the rear, they don't work ideally off-road, and they're prone to slipping out or coming apart, where this is a much more secure system. I did have issues with the standard roller hangers. I'm not sure what you would call them, roller brackets maybe, where they would just bend off-road. They were almost like a T shape, and any pressure on the hull would just bend them off-road. So I've completely taken them out and replaced it with this solid bit of steel, which I got bent up. You can see that from the back here too. And then I've also run this skid plate just at the rear, just to help it slide off a little bit nicer. So I'm really happy with how this setup works. Definitely a big improvement from your standard brackets that you would normally find on your boat trailer. This works very well. So I think the one downside with this build is it is quite heavy. For a 4-meter tinny, there's quite a lot of weight there. The trailer is completely built from steel. It's very heavy duty. It's all made from gal, and there's quite a bit of steel in there. So that's one of the main reasons why it's so heavy. Possibly if I could change things, I would ideally prefer an aluminium trailer. it would be a bit lighter, and then obviously you don't have to worry about things like rust and corrosion. So yeah, that would probably be my downside to this build. So I think I've covered most things with this TINNY project, guys. If there's anything you need to know about it, please let me know in the comments and I'll answer you to the best of my ability. If you've got any tips for me, like I said, I'm no expert with fabrication or anything like that. If any of you guys out there have used your boats, traveled Australia with them, done a lot of off-road work, and you have any hints or tips for me, please let me know and I'll definitely take it all on board. Otherwise, thanks for watching, guys, and taking the time to let me show you through the White Rhino. I hope you found it useful if you are going to take on an off-road TINNY project like this yourself. And yeah, stick around as we take this on our travels with us. Thanks very much, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.